Welcome to today's video, where we'll explore the realities of the modern workplace. If you've ever heard phrases like, "We're more than a company, we're a family," or if you've wondered how much you can really trust your coworkers, or even if HR is truly there to help you, this video is for you. Today, we're breaking down 3 key principles that will help you navigate the workplace with clarity and confidence. The company is not your family. Coworkers are not your friends. HR protects the company, not you. These principles may sound a bit harsh, but they're grounded in reality. Understanding them can save you from disappointment, help you set boundaries, and empower you to make better decisions for your career and personal well-being. Let's dive into the first principle. The first principle is this: the company is not your family. You've probably heard this phrase before. We're like a family here. It's a common narrative that companies use to foster a sense of loyalty and emotional connection among their employees. On the surface, it sounds great. After all, a family is supposed to be a source of support, care, and unconditional loyalty. But the truth is, businesses are not families. They are profit-driven entities, and their primary goal is to succeed financially. Here's the thing to remember. Decisions made by a company are almost always based on what's best for the organization, not the individual. For example, during times of economic downturn, companies often lay off employees to cut costs, even those employees who have been loyal for years or have gone above and beyond their job responsibilities. When that happens, the family metaphor quickly falls apart. Let's look at why employees often fall for this family narrative in the first place. Companies use this language because it appeals to our natural desire for belonging and security. Team-building activities, company retreats, and slogans like, "We're all in this together," are designed to make us feel emotionally invested in the organization. And while there's nothing wrong with enjoying a positive workplace culture, this emotional attachment can sometimes work against us. For instance, many employees end up overextending themselves, working long hours, skipping vacations, or taking on tasks outside their job descriptions because they feel loyal to the family. Some even feel guilty about asking for a raise or leaving for a better opportunity, as though they're betraying their team. But this loyalty isn't always reciprocated. Take Jessica, for example, a mid-level manager who poured her heart into her job, regularly staying late and taking on extra responsibilities. When the company faced financial difficulties, she assumed her hard work would protect her from layoffs. Instead, she was one of the first to go because her role was deemed non-essential. Jessica's story is a reminder that no matter how much a company values you, its loyalty is ultimately tied to its bottom line. So how can you protect yourself? The key is to set boundaries and maintain a professional perspective. Don't overcommit yourself out of a sense of obligation. Focus on your own career goals and ensure that your efforts align with what you want to achieve. Always be prepared for change. Keep your resume up to date and have a financial safety net in place. And most importantly, remember that your relationship with your employer is transactional. You provide value to the company, and the company compensates you for your work. It's not about unconditional loyalty, it's about mutual benefit. Now, let's move on to the second principle. Coworkers are not your friends. The workplace is a unique environment. It brings people together from different backgrounds, with different goals, to work toward shared objectives. Naturally, it's easy to build relationships with coworkers, and some of these relationships can feel like genuine friendships. However, it's important to recognize that coworkers are not your friends in the traditional sense. Friendship is built on trust, shared values, and an emotional bond that goes beyond convenience. Coworkers, on the other hand, are people you're placed with by circumstance. Your relationship with them is primarily professional, and it exists to serve the goals of the organization. One of the biggest challenges in workplace relationships is competition. For instance, you might feel close to a coworker, but if a promotion or a high-profile project becomes available, you may suddenly find yourselves in competition. This underlying tension can strain relationships and highlight the limits of workplace camaraderie. Another risk is oversharing. When you treat coworkers like friends, it's easy to let your guard down and share personal information. But this can backfire. For example, venting about your frustrations with management may seem harmless in the moment, but if that information gets passed along to the wrong person, it could damage your reputation. Then there's the issue of workplace politics. Building overly close relationships with certain coworkers can lead to perceptions of favoritism, resentment from others, or even conflicts of interest. Let me give you a real-world example. Raj and Sarah were coworkers who bonded over their shared career goals. They often spent time together outside of work and supported each other professionally. But when a managerial position opened up, both applied for the role. Sarah got the promotion, and their friendship quickly unraveled as Raj became resentful. This is a common outcome when personal relationships collide with professional ambitions. So, how do you balance professionalism and friendliness in the workplace? First, keep your conversations professional. It's fine to share light personal details, but avoid discussing sensitive topics like finances, health issues, or workplace grievances. Second, set boundaries. For example, you might enjoy socializing during lunch breaks, but don't feel obligated to invite coworkers into your personal life outside of work. Third, focus on collaboration and mutual respect. Building positive relationships is important, but always prioritize professionalism over personal attachment. In short, coworkers can be allies, mentors, or even sources of inspiration, but they are not your friends in the same way people in your personal life are. Keeping this distinction in mind can save you from unnecessary conflict and emotional stress. Finally, let's discuss the third principle. HR protects the company, not you. Many employees assume that the Human Resources Department is there to advocate for them, resolve disputes, and ensure fairness in the workplace. While HR does play a key role in addressing workplace issues, it's important to understand that their primary responsibility is to protect the company. HR departments handle tasks like recruiting, payroll, compliance with labor laws, and employee relations. While these responsibilities may seem employee-focused, they are ultimately designed to serve the organization's interests. For example, ensuring compliance with labor laws isn't necessarily about fairness for employees. It's about protecting the company from legal liability. This can lead to situations where employees feel unsupported by HR. Take Laura, for example, an employee who reported harassment by her manager. She assumed HR would take her side and resolve the issue. Instead, HR conducted a brief investigation, decided there wasn't enough evidence to act, and advised Laura to work on improving communication with her manager. Laura later realized that HR's primary concern was protecting the company from a potential legal issue, not addressing her complaint. So how can you navigate HR effectively? First, document everything. If you have a workplace issue, keep detailed records of incidents, including dates, times, and communications. This documentation can serve as evidence if you need to escalate the matter. Second, know your rights. Familiarize yourself with labor laws and company policies so you can advocate for yourself confidently. Third, approach HR with professionalism and clarity. Present your concerns in a factual, solution-oriented manner. And finally, if necessary, seek external support, such as legal advice or guidance from a labor union. Remember, HR can still be a valuable resource, but it's important to approach them strategically and with realistic expectations. To sum up, the workplace is not always the sanctuary of fairness and friendship that we might hope for. But by understanding and applying these three principles, you can navigate it more effectively. First, remember that the company is not your family. Maintain a professional perspective and prioritize your own goals. Second, recognize that coworkers are not your friends. Build positive relationships, but keep interactions professional and focused on collaboration. And third, understand that HR protects the company, not you. Approach them strategically and advocate for yourself when necessary. The workplace may not offer unconditional loyalty or emotional attachment, but it can still be a space for growth, achievement, and fulfillment if you understand how to navigate it. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, take care, and remember to protect your time, energy, and career.